I'd like to say thank you, first of all. Thanks to all of you for attending this press conference, and I would like to say thank you also to Mr. Ban Ki-moon and the UN teams for having accepted the partnership with Switzerland, partnership for a conference, but also a partnership for the substance on preventing violent extremism. I would say also thank you to all participants. There are about 700 participants coming from about 120 countries, and I would like to say thank you to them for their engagement, for their commitment also in the common tasks of preventing violent extremism. And if it is to summarize very briefly, to the point, this conference up to now from a Swiss point of view, then I would say, I would underline three main elements. The prevention line, the long-term road, and the focus on the ground and for the people. First, the prevention line, the political commitment to prevention. Combating terrorism is particularly important through prevention. Prevention in addressing the root causes of violent extremism. There are a lot of them. The lack of governance, the lack of perspective, prospects, the lack of integration as well, the exclusion, the discrimination, the violent conflict. There are a lot, and we have to address them. The second point is the long-term road, because this political commitment to prevention must be also a political commitment to long-term strategies. PVE, preventing violent extremism, it takes time. It needs years, steady efforts during years, sometimes decades. And it is about constructing resilient societies. It is about overcoming fragility. It is about meeting the expectation of the population, the youth in particular. So we have really to catch our breath and to work in the long term, to mobilize resources as well. That leads me to the third point, the focus on the ground and for the people everywhere, the importance of implementation. We've just lived a period of, let's say, like that conception of broad frameworks like Agenda 2030, above all the Sustainable Development Goal 16 on peace and inclusive societies. We must now enter more in a time of implementation on the ground. Therefore, Switzerland welcomed the UN Action Plan, and therefore also Switzerland has tried to make a clear and swift contribution in this sense with our foreign policy plan of action on PVE, preventing violent extremism. We focus on youth, on young people, we focus on women, in order to increase and to improve the perspective, the prospect in education and jobs, in inclusion, and also to empower them, the young people and the women, to empower them as actors against violent extremism. And we focus also on this place, this location here, International Geneva. It is a crossing point, Geneva, a crossing point between human rights, development, and peace and security, and it is also a network of international organizations and of civil society. So as a conclusion from our side, our Swiss side, if there is a true confirmation of the prevention line, the long-term road, and also the focus on the ground and for the people everywhere, then this conference will be useful for the next generation. Thank you very much.